In a village, there was a farmer named Johnson. He lived with his wife, Elizabeth. They had 2 children. John was in grade 6. And Linda was in grade 4. Years ago, Johnson's cousin Charles had moved to a nearby city. Johnson often missed him. One evening, the doorbell rang. John ran to open it and came back with a letter in his hand.
"It's from Uncle Charles,"
he said. Johnson quickly took the letter and opened it. Elizabeth and Linda also came into the room. He read it aloud.
"He's coming this Sunday with his family. They'll stay for a week."
Elizabeth looked worried.
"But how will they stay here?"
Johnson smiled.
"Let's get the rooms ready for them."
Johnson and John started dusting the ceilings and fans. They cleaned the corners and swept the floors. Elizabeth and Linda washed the bed sheets and scrubbed the windows. Linda wiped the tables, while Elizabeth mopped the floor. Soon, the day came. Everyone was waiting. A car stopped in front of the house. Johnson, Elizabeth, John, and Linda came out to welcome them. Charles stepped out of the car with his wife, Sarah, and their 2 kids, Ben and Lily. They all had mobile phones in their hands. Charles gave Johnson a big hug.
"It's been so long, brother."
Sarah smiled and greeted Elizabeth. She gave a hug to Linda. Lily smiled at Linda and shook her hand politely. But right after, she quickly took out her sanitizer and rubbed her hands.
"Mom, Dad, sanitize your hands. Quickly,"
Lily said in a serious voice. Charles and Sarah just smiled. But Ben quietly took out his sanitizer and used it. John leaned toward Linda and whispered,
"What are they doing?"
Linda shrugged. After some talking, Ben looked at John and asked,
"Can you tell me the Wi-Fi password?"
John looked confused.
"Why, what's that?"
Charles laughed.
"Ben, just use your mobile data."
Ben nodded and tried using his phone. But after a moment, he frowned.
"No signal."
Johnson smiled.
"Don't worry. You won't get bored here."
Then, they all walked inside the house together. They were all very tired after the long journey. Elizabeth soon served dinner. Everyone enjoyed the meal. After dinner, Johnson stood up.
"Come. I'll show you your rooms."
He pointed to one room.
"Charles, this one is for you and Sarah."
Then he opened the next door.
"And this one is for Ben and Lily."
Ben stepped inside and looked around.
"There's no attached bathroom?"
Lily looked around and sighed.
"No towel. And no dressing table. Where will I keep my lotions and night creams?"
Ben added,
"And there's no charging spot near the bed."
Charles said calmly,
"It's a village, kids. Things are simple here."
Lily crossed her arms.
"But I need my space."
Charles smiled.
"It's just for a few days. Sweetheart.
Ben sat on the bed with a sigh. Lily slowly nodded. Charles patted their shoulders. Then they began to settle their things quietly. That night, everyone went to sleep. The house was quiet. But at midnight, a chicken crept into Ben and Lily's room. It clucked loudly. Ben opened his eyes.
What's that noise?
Lily sat up and screamed.
There's a chicken on my bed.
Both of them started crying. Hearing the noise, Johnson, Charles, and all rushed to the room. They saw the chicken sitting on Lily's bed. Lily was hiding behind Ben, both in tears. John quickly stepped forward and grabbed the chicken.
Got it!
He said. Ben and Lily finally took a deep breath. Johnson placed his hand on his head.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. That's our alarm clock.
Just then, the chicken pooped on Johnson's shoulder. Ben burst into laughter.
Uncle. Your alarm clock does potty too.
Everyone laughed. Johnson said,
That's it. No more midnight walks for you.
John took the chicken outside and put it in the cage.
You'll sleep here now.
Ben crossed his arms.
I'm not sleeping in that room again.
Lily nodded.
Me neither.
Sarah hugged them.
It was just a chicken.
Charles said gently.
It won't happen again.
Slowly, the kids calmed down and went back to bed. The next morning, Elizabeth was busy in the kitchen. Soon, everyone gathered at the table, still a little sleepy. Elizabeth served boiled eggs, omelets, toasted slices, homemade jam, butter, and hot tea. Sarah picked up a boiled egg.
Is this organic?
Elizabeth nodded quickly.
Yes, from our own chickens.
Sarah tried to hide her smile. Just then, Lily frowned.
I don't like boiled eggs.
Ben added.
And I don't eat omelets without ketchup.
Elizabeth looked a little worried.
Oh. I didn't know.
Before it got awkward, Charles jumped in.
Kids, this breakfast is special. It's made with love.
Sarah smiled.
Yes, let's enjoy it.
Lily poked her egg.
Okay. But next time I want pancakes.
Ben added.
And I want orange juice.
Johnson laughed.
Noted.
Ben and Lily smiled. Then they began to eat. In just 2 days, Ben and Lily stopped complaining. Even hygiene didn't feel like a problem now. They played outside and laughed a lot. The family visited nearby farms and saw animals. They also went to visit their relatives' houses. The village life felt peaceful. Soon, the farewell day came. Charles hugged Johnson.
Now it's your turn to visit us.
Johnson smiled.
Sure.
Linda said.
Lily. I'll miss you.
Lily replied.
Me too. Let's stay in touch.
Sarah and Elizabeth hugged.
Come again soon.
Elizabeth said. Ben waved to John.
Don't forget me.
Never.
John smiled. They got into the car and left, waving with smiles and promises to meet again.